Old Man Plotagon. Episode 1. Hello all of you out there in video land. My name is Lizzie and I am here to welcome you to the first of what we hope to be many episodes of Old Man Plotagon. You may be wondering where we came up with the title for this program. Really quite simple. The blogger is, in fact, an old man. We are expecting to do at least a dozen episodes, but that depends on how long our old man lasts. That's just a little inside joke we have here in the studio. Our blogger is as healthy as a horse. And we call it Plotablog because these videos are created in Plotagon. And it is a blog. Get it? So Chuck, fire up the music and let's see what this old guy has up his sleeve today. And let's hope it is more than his wrinkly old arm.
I welcome you all to my den. I do most of my thinking in here. Except sometimes I do my best thinking when I am asleep, and I often keep a notebook by my bed so I can write down the great ideas I have in the night. The problem is, I usually can't read my own writing and the great ideas end up in the recycling bin. So my grandchildren got me to thinking. "Hey grandfather," they said. Well, they actually call me old and ugly and say I smell bad, but otherwise they are mostly human. Anyway, they said, why don't you start a blog so you can share your ideas with other people? To tell the truth, I had no idea. I thought a blog was what the cat did on the rug. Well, boys and girls, the year is 2020 and just a couple of days to October. My favorite time of year. Leaves changing, apples ripening, trick-or-treat time, Thanksgiving just around the corner. That is, it used to be my favorite time. But this year, by the end of October, our country, and for that matter the world, may be in the middle of chaos and decay. We are in the middle of a worldwide pandemic that shows no signs of going away anytime soon, are seeing political partisanship at dangerous levels, often ending to violence, a national election that could turn this trend around, or plunge us into years more of a de facto dictatorship, are seeing a new realization of our true history as a nation crashing into a wall of white supremacy armed militias, raging fires consuming the West and giant storms in the oceans, and climate change basically destroying the planet with hardly any efforts by humanity to stop it. And humanity hangs in the balance. And by the end of the year this balance will shift toward the positive, such as we have not seen for 4 years, or it will tip the scales even further down and beyond our control. Were you expecting this blog to be about my vacation last year in New Mexico? Or maybe my favorite recipes for Yankee pot roast? Or how to fix your lawnmower with duct tape and string? Not hardly. I have a month to accomplish something meaningful in here. And we can't go anywhere anyway. And the news makes me throw up. And I am too angry to even sit still long enough to read a book. So I am going to live up to my reputation of being a grumpy old man. Which I am. And take my thoughts and ideas and shove them into your ears. And up your nose if need be. And if that bothers you, you can take those ideas and shove them somewhere else. So are you still with me? Have I lived up to my grumpy reputation? Can you send my $100 so I can pay my electric bill and stop burning these damn candles? It's like a freaking dungeon down here. I think I will save the hard stuff for later and deal with the easy issues first, like the pandemic. What? You think this pandemic is a serious problem? Not for me. I am old and retired years ago, and I never go anywhere anyway. And if I have to go out, like to cash my huge pension check, I just wear my mask and pretend I am the Lone Ranger. But you know what scares the living crap out of me? The disgusting human values this pandemic is bringing to the surface. And I am not even talking about the fools who claim it is a hoax created by the Democrats, or that pouring bleach in your beer will flush the germs out of you. Oh, it will flush you out all right, and spending hours on the ceramic lounge chair will give a chance to consider why you listen to an idiot instead of your doctor or the public health scientists. Actually, anyone stupid enough to drink bleach is probably better off not contributing to the gene pool, so pour yourself another one and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 blast off. No, what I'm going to talk about is something much deeper than the septic system. I want to talk about the social civil war that has developed between normal people and the anti-maskers. The folks who refuse to wear the recommended masks to protect themselves and others, and try and contain the virus before it kills us all. And what makes my blood boil is their reasoning behind their behavior. Okay, I will admit that this country has some very strong beliefs. Strong, but in some cases simple-minded. If you asked most Americans what the most important value of being an American is, they would probably say freedom. Yes. Yes. Hooray for freedom. And then ask them what that word means. Pretty hard to base an entire culture and society on just one short word. Well, okay, it is 2 syllables. But lately I have had a bunch of 1-syllable words coming out of my mouth. And in case there are children watching this vlog, I will try and control myself. And then when you ask them what freedom means, 9 out of 10 will say that I can do whatever I want whenever I want to. That is when I bite my tongue to keep from punching them in the nose. And then while I am trying to calm down, they might go on to elaborate with something like, "The damn government cannot tell me what to do." And you can tell you could diagnose that attitude by just substituting one of these words for damn government. Mother, mother's boyfriend, school principal, wife, or cop that pulled me over for going 90. Of course they seem to forget our country runs on laws, and we would not have laws unless people wanted to do whatever I damn well want when I damn well want to. What if there were no traffic laws? Would you dare leave your garage? I taught in college for over a decade, and as a verbal exercise I posed this question. You are driving home. It is 3 o'clock in the morning. It is pitch dark and nobody else is on the road. You come to a stop sign. Do you stop? And every class, for 10 years and several classes each semester, almost every student said they wouldn't stop. I understood what they were saying. That the purpose of the stop sign was to control traffic and prevent crashes. So if you made the judgment that there was no danger and no purpose in stopping, why bother? Now I always stop in every sign. Because if we don't expect people to obey the rules, but to make their own judgments about whether the rule applies, how can we trust their judgment? Would you feel safe if you saw a car approaching your intersection if you knew they would make up their own mind about stopping? But the real problem of defining freedom, as nobody can tell me what to do, is that freedom is not just freedom to, but it is also freedom from. So the anti-pandemic rules are to provide the citizens with freedom from sickness and death. Who is more free? The person who doesn't follow the rules and is in danger of getting the virus, or the person who follows the rules and is safe? One of the biggest debates in society, and also things like marriage, is deciding whether security or freedom is more important. What is the motivation of those thousands of refugees fleeing war? You might say freedom, but in fact they want security, so they can live their lives without fear and danger. Famous artist Norman Rockwell painted a series he called the 4 freedoms. Freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. Notice half of his basic freedoms had to do with being protected from something. Want, which is hunger, and fear. Imagine for a moment you are free to do whatever you want, but you are starving every day and afraid of something bad, like a pandemic. Would you feel truly free? You may have heard in school that freedom means do what you want so long as you don't hurt others or limit their freedoms. There you go. Our system of laws is meant to protect everyone, so if you go speeding through a neighborhood, or shoot off your automatic weapons, or disregard basic civil laws, you have stolen the freedoms of others. You know I am very old, and it is way past my nap. But let me leave you with this one final thought. We only need one rule. Do unto others as you would like them to do to you. Good night. And be good.
Vote like your life depended on it, because this time, it really does.